Hi, welcome to Books and Yarn. My name is TJ, and in today's video, I will be doing a book review on Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. Now, without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, let me start by saying this is my first 5-star review. I usually wait until the end of the video to tell you how I rate the book, but I've read this book a while back in May, to be honest. It's actually on my May reads. I did not do a May reads. I'm actually going to have to do one in July with my June reads, but you're not here for any of that, so forget I said any of that. So I did read this book a while back, and I had totally forgotten that I wanted to do a review on it. I'm not doing reviews on all the books I read. I want to, and I want to, but I won't. But let's get into what this book is about. So it's basically about this girl. Her name is Kenna. She went to prison during the death of her boyfriend, who she now has a child with. And so she returns to this town where her daughter is currently living with her grandparents, and she's basically trying to get back into her daughter's life, or basically get into her daughter's life. So it's told from her point of view along with Ledger. Ledger happens to be her dead boyfriend's best friend, and he's also close to the grandparents, so he plays a very close role in her daughter's life as well. So there's a little bit of tension there and some romance. So it's kind of the boyfriend best friend trope. It's the boyfriend's best friend trope, boyfriend's girlfriend trope, if that's a trope. So that's basically the trope for this. So there isn't anything I hated about this book. I absolutely loved all 327 pages of it. So I'm just going to share a few things that I liked about this book. So I loved the whole storyline, aka the plot, especially being that the Kenna's daughter, which for some reason I just cannot remember her name, but she has this unique name. If I remember, I'm going to put it on the screen. But if you haven't read this book as well, I do suggest that you do. And I hope you find it to be a 5-star read as much as I did. There might be some unintentional spoilers, so proceed at your own risk. So as I stated before, I love the whole storyline, especially with Ledger being so close to Kenna's daughter. So it gives them a way to basically build into the romance. I hate the whole I bumped into him and then we're gonna get together or whatever. I don't like that in the book. I love how conflicted Ledger was about Kenna, especially given that everyone in the town blamed her for her boyfriend's death. His how can I not remember his name? Needless to say, I read this book a while back, as I stated. But given that everyone blames Kenna for her boyfriend's death, so this basically caused Ledger to be conflicted because he wasn't quick to judge her, and I love that in a character. I love how Kenna and Ledger's relationship did not revolve around just sex, money, or petty conflict. He had a real reason for not liking her or for not wanting to be around her, given that she would have killed his best friend. I love how we got the full story throughout the book and not info dump. I love a book with tension and suspense. Probably that's why I'm reading a lot of thrillers now. So I want to know the story throughout the book. I don't mind. I don't want to know the entire story on page 1 or within the first few chapters, because then there won't be anything to hook me to keep reading throughout the book. So I loved how we got to know the full story and basically got Kenna's side of what happened in regards to the accident with her causing her boyfriend's death. I loved the last thing that I loved a lot of things, but I normally just say 4 to 5. So the last thing that I love is how relatable the characters were. They felt human. I could almost picture myself being in Kenna's shoes. And I love when I'm reading a book and I can basically emulate the character's life or go into the character's life. This book, if you don't like to cry when you read books, I would not suggest this for you. Probably you're not emotional, but I'm a very emotional person, so I did cry a lot, especially when I got to. I'm a mom, and I can't imagine ever not being able to know my child, so I actually felt sorry for her. I don't care what you did unless you are some abuser or something. I believe that every mom or dad deserves to know their child. So that part really hit me, and I love how Colleen Hoover basically can put like real life experience and real life issues into a sweet book. Other than the incident with Kenna causing her boyfriend's death, there was no drama. I love when an author can write a romance book that doesn't have to be filled with unnecessary drama. Because I have that in real life. There's drama all around me when I'm trying to escape. I don't want to go into a book to read about someone else's drama or someone's. I love that. So this book does not have any plot twist or any cliffhangers. I normally hate when books end on cliffhangers, especially if they're standalone. So love that. I would definitely recommend anyone who's looking for a sweet small town drama free romance. I should also add previously, prior to this year, I did not like small town romance, but I find myself reading a lot of small town romance these days, which show you how much a person can grow. Now, would I reread? I'm definitely planning to read this again. The first time I read it with on my Kindle through Kindle, and I also listened it on the audiobook. So I'm definitely planning to reread it with a physical copy, which I'm planning to order soon. And there was a quote that I loved, which I will put up on the screen right here. We're at the end of the video, and I do apologize if I rambled too much or if I fumble over my speech. I'm still new at this and I get really nervous because when I look at the camera, I see your face. I don't just see a camera, I picture the person watching me, and that makes me really nervous at times. So, if you enjoy my little reviews, I hope you go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and stay safe, stay healthy, stay fit, and I hope I see you in my next video.